Hi, I'm Alison from Alison's Astrology, and I'm here to talk to you this week about the week that begins on the 22nd of December and finishes on the 28th. So we're beginning the week with the moon in the last degrees of practical Virgo, opposing Neptune in Pisces, and the moon feeling that it needs to organize, manage, and to get things right and sorted. And worrying as well that maybe it's missed something, because the moon in Virgo can worry, and it really does like to be on point and to get things done and to get things right. So this moon Neptune opposition also brings with it a strong need to be of service as well across the Virgo Pisces axis, find ways to help. So the moon as well might be really anxiously looking for ways to help people, ways to make things better for other people. And opposite Neptune might actually be forgetting to look after him or herself. So it's worth reminding ourselves when we get a moon-Neptune opposition that we need to pay our attention to our own needs too, especially bodily needs. You know, the moon about the body, food, sleep, and rest. And that's why we're worrying about everybody else and our souls and the state of the planet. So that's just something to be aware of at the beginning of this week. So on Monday morning, moving on, the sun perfects its square to the nodes. That's the nodes in Aries and Libra, and the sun, of course, in Capricorn. So this is a cardinal square, and it's going to be important for anyone with planets or angles around 2 degrees of the cardinal signs, which are Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. And it could signify if you do have planets or angles around 2 degrees of these signs, it could signify an important decision or maybe a change of direction on that day. The nodes are often thought of as destiny points. So if you are tuned into this 2 degree point with your chart, notice what's coming into your life now and notice what's leaving as well, you know, because these could be significant as you go forward. So on Tuesday the 24th, then moving on to Tuesday, just before midnight in Europe, and then an hour earlier, of course, in the UK, we have the second Jupiter-Saturn square. So this perfects at 14 degrees of Gemini for Jupiter and Pisces for Saturn. So it's a mutable square, so it's changeable. Things can adapt and move. And it's the retrograde pass of the square that began with the conjunction at 0 degrees Aries, 0 degrees of Aquarius, on the 21st of December 2020. And that, of course, is exactly where Pluto is now, at that 0 degrees of Aquarius. So it's picking up that theme again somehow, coming back and echoing that theme. And with Aquarius, it's themes of freedom, themes of friends, themes of ideals. So think back to that moment in 2020. Was there anything then that, you know, you began, anything that came into your life? Anything that's now developing is an ongoing theme, perhaps. Squares are usually challenging, but the challenge can be very positive as it pushes us to grow and make things actually happen, make things manifest. And with a mutable square, we can change and adapt as we're doing that. And we may have to, because we may be adapting to outside circumstances. So Saturn currently is in Pisces, so it's searching for ways in which we can put down solid foundations and build dreams. Jupiter's hoping for growth and faith, for growth in community, perhaps in Gemini, but it's constrained by the material circumstances, which might be symbolized by Saturn. Jupiter's still exploring the possibilities, though. So it really feels the square like another stage in an ongoing journey towards freedom and independence, and towards a way of life that we can believe in. And adaptability here is a key word because it's mutable. The final square of this cycle, just to give you a sort of heads up for moving forward on this, is on June the 15th, across cardinal Aries and Cancer. Jupiter will be in Cancer then. And Aquarius is still involved through the moon, and Neptune is involved too. So you might find then that you get some kind of resolution or fulfillment or a more concrete manifestation of whatever your plans were in 2020 at this point. but there's much that can happen before that, a lot of astrology, a lot of things. So we just watch at the moment and take notice what happens on the 24th, 25th, when that square perfects. And this year we don't have that wonderful Venus-Neptune trine, unfortunately, that perfected on the 25th of December last year. Instead, we have a Mars-Pluto opposition. It's not perfecting, but it's getting closer. And Mars is retrograde, of course, so we can hope for a peaceful warrior type of manifestation of Mars. And both Pluto and Mars are aspecting those nodes of destiny in a positive way. And Venus and Uranus, although they're coming up to a challenging square, they're also a mutual reception. So we could anticipate perhaps here everyone trying to make an effort for things to stay calm and upbeat on the 25th. And so for those who do celebrate Christmas, I hope it's joyful. On the 26th, Mercury opposes Jupiter, and this has been ongoing, but now it perfects around 13 degrees of Gemini and Sagittarius. And it's actually in a T-square with Saturn, which is just 1 degree off at 14 degrees of Pisces. So Virgo's implicated as well as the 4th mutable sign. So with this opposition, we feel freer now to say what we think, and we might be challenged to do exactly that. And we might find we're swaying from one side of the opposition to the other, looking at the details and then at the bigger picture. And in the middle of it all in the middle of it all is Saturn, who's actually telling us why nothing's going to work and why the solutions and the discussions that we're trying to kind of work through are just not possible in the real world. But it's worth kind of carrying on here with the discussions and exploring the possibilities, because it is mutable and things can adapt, people can adapt. And there's a lot of Sagittarian optimism at the base of this. Mercury refuses to hold a grudge, so it might say what it thinks, but there's also the idea of it clearing the air. So it could actually, in the end, be a positive conversation that happens on the 26th. So in a nutshell, we're probably all hoping to be understood here, actually, all our different points of view with this opposition and the T-square, and achieve something concrete, or at least find ways in which things might move forward, whatever that situation is. And on Friday, the 27th, Mercury kind of moves on from Jupiter, and now it's challenging Saturn on its own. This is perfecting. And it might feel more constrained and less positive as everyone tries to put their point of view across without being shot down. You might actually feel it's more difficult to say what you think on the 27th. But there's still room for discussion and solutions, and again, that challenge is to find them. And this could apply to any kind of communication, by the way. It needn't just be face-to-face discussion. So if you're emailing people, if you're in discussion about other projects, these things still apply. Adapt and find solutions. And that's the big news for this week. So join me next week for Chiron turning direct, and a new moon in Capricorn. And apologies that the quality is not great this week, but I'm away for a few days, so not at home in my usual space. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I hope to see you next week. Okay, bye.